Hey there. I'm so glad you're here. I can't see you. I know you're here because if you weren't here, you wouldn't hear me now. So that's good. Thanks, my mom and the other two people that are here right now. Just kidding. Just kidding. Thank you for being here. It's another solo episode. And I've just really enjoyed these episodes to share with you some of the things that have been coming up for either my clients or friends of mine as we talk about really going to the next level. I'm always challenging people to think beyond themselves. And I just had coffee yesterday with a really good friend of mine. She's a very successful executive at a big company. And I asked her, there's things she loves about what she does, and there's definitely things that she feels like she's getting cornered as the known person for doing these specific tasks, and she takes them on, and she's not loving that. But she just kind of thought, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. So I just have to take what they give me. And so I challenged her on that a little bit. And I asked her, what lights you up? What do you want to do? And she said, oh, I don't know. And I thought I get that a lot. I will say, I get that a lot from people where they're like, oh, well, I just don't know what's next for me. I'm just going to kind of see what happens. And that's fine. If you're challenged in your role or you have a lot going on in your life and it's not an area of focus for you right now, that's totally fine. That's good to just know that you're feeling challenged and you like what you do. But if you want to move forward or you want to get more experience, if you're not clear about where you're going, even if you get some clarity and it becomes a path that you're not going to take, that's okay. But if you don't think bigger than yourself, then you'll never kind of move in that space or get the experience that you need to get you where you want to go. So I was challenging her and I said, why don't you do this? Find 5 people in your organization and ask them to tell you how they see you in the future. Somebody that knows you really well. Let me break this down for you because there's a lot of different reasons why this is a great idea. One is finding 5 people in the organization that you don't normally work with that are ahead of you, having the exposure to them outside of a regular meeting, outside of a regular cadence, outside of a regular kind of conversation or topic you tend to talk about, helping them see you in a different way can be good for your influence within the organization. It helps them see you in a different way, but it also gives you this exposure and uncomfort with new people. So picking 5 people, and I told her, don't pick people that you don't respect. They don't need to know that. Pick people that you respect as leaders, that you trust, and that you want to get to know you better. Because even in this exercise, if you don't get the data you need, having the exposure to them and letting them see you in a different way is an investment in your future somehow. You don't need to know exactly how. Okay, so it's 5 people. And then she said to me, well, once I pick those people, what do I do? Do I email them? I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is how you have to do it. You don't just email them out of the blue. Because she's like, what if they're like, what in the heck is she doing? So this is what you do. You get permission. So I'm giving you permission to say, your executive coach, because right now I'm being your executive coach. My executive coach challenged me to do this. So that gives us permission to go to these people if you need to have that. And that's a great way of being able to depersonalize this request that you're asking from these people. Don't send an email. Don't make it official. The next time you see them, or you just, pass by or just say, hey, can I have a couple minutes to talk to you? Say to them, hey, my executive coach challenged me to think beyond my kind of restrictions on myself. And I really respect you. And I respect you as a leader, but I respect the fact that you know me in a different way. And I'd like you to think about, if you had to answer the question for me, where do you see me in 5 years? Or where do you see me in the next 2 years? If I needed to be challenged on thinking outside of who I am today, help me see myself as an expanded me, leveraging what I already do well in a different role or a different place, or doing what I'm doing now, but bigger. Can you help me think outside the box, beyond my own barriers that I set for myself? Now, I know that was a lot, but that's how you want to position it to them. You want to say, can I get some time with you to ask you a couple questions that can help me think broader and be able to benefit from the way you see me and see, using your experience, how to challenge me to think into a future and start to define where I might be setting my sights on development. And if they're like, oh, I don't even know where to start, just say, like, do you see me in my current role? You can ask them questions, or you can give them enough frame to say, I just want you to brainstorm out loud with me. And I picked you specifically because I trust you. My executive coach told me to pick people I respect and that I trust. And only 5 people. If you tell them it's a guarded amount of people too, then they'll feel special. And believe me, if you pick somebody and they hear that message, they'll feel really good that you picked them. The other thing is, when you get that time with them, only make it 30 minutes. Tell them, I only need 30 minutes of your time. Say 20 minutes. And don't send them questions to answer on email. That makes people kind of official, on the record. They won't think outside the box. Have a conversation with them and just sit back and listen to them. Don't try to be defensive. Don't try to say, but I couldn't do this because. Don't try to solution. Just try to listen to what they're saying. And when you're done, it'd be great if you could record it, but that might be weird. But if you can, that would be awesome, so you can hear their words. But if you don't, when you're done, sit down and write down and remember everything they said, so that once you start allowing it to marinate, you don't change the words they said or diminish what they said. If you can capture exactly what they said, then that can give you something to go back to and really challenge yourself. And then take those 5 and start to allow yourself to see yourself through their eyes. Because I guarantee that there will be some consistency with all the 5. There'll be things that they see in you that you can capitalize on. They may challenge you to talk to other people. And at the end, you can say, now that we've had this conversation, and if I come back to you, if they challenge you to do something, make sure you follow up with them. And when you come back to them, ask them if there's others that you should talk to. Who should you know? That could be a follow-up question that you ask them. Who should I know in the organization that would also help me, that I should follow, that maybe I should emulate? Ask them questions, because there's no better person than somebody that you work with, and not somebody that you're necessarily close to and they know a lot about you. They don't have to know a lot about you. They still have a perception of you. So take that risk. That's the only way. If we don't take time to invest in ourselves and understand where we're going, we'll never set our sights on something that we can attain and get there. So use this activity. This came from my friend Kat, and she is going to do it. And she's very excited about it, and it feels really challenging to her. But try it. Try it and let me know how it works for you. And if it does unlock some ideas about yourself that you didn't see, ask them what they think is your superpower and have them put that in words. I'm excited for you. Let me know how that goes, and don't put it off. Do it right away. Send the emails. Well, you can just say, can I talk to you for a few minutes? I told you not to say the actual send the message and email. But next time you run into them, maybe just at the end of the meeting, say, hey, would you mind if I put 30 minutes on your calendar? I'd love to brainstorm with you on my professional development and what you see in me. And I guarantee they'll say, heck yeah, I'll do that for you. Thanks for joining me. If you think that somebody would benefit from this idea in thinking outside the box and putting your sights broader, making your sights broader than what you limit yourself in, make sure you share this with them and tell them that you see potential in them, and tell them that you'll do this for them as well. Thanks for joining me. And until next time, this is Leaders with Leverage. And I want you to leverage your leadership in a positive way to help yourself and others.